Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Rustl'd for the 3rd of May, 2018. So tonight we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Tonight I thought it'd be fun to go through and look at a bunch of crazy news stories you probably missed this week, and stories that I do feel are probably a little bit too short in order to turn into a full-fledged video. So I've got a good selection of about 6 or 7 stories lined up, and if there's anything you want to see yourself, anything you want to see brought up, be sure to send it over to mundanemat.com/submit. The crazier, the better. Be sure to keep length in mind, just because we're going to be reading the articles and we want to get through them as fast as possible. So anything you got that's weird that I may not have seen, mundanemat.com/submit. And I do want to make this a weekly thing again. I've talked about it before, but I really want to start structuring streams to have them be very much, brought in like certain days, do certain things. That way it's more structured, it's more organized, and you guys know exactly what you're getting. So without further fucking ado, let's let's jump into the first one here, because I swear this shit this shit be crazy. So first things first, I want to talk about this guy out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now, I came across this story the other day. Clearly, it's a little bit weird. For those of you who can't see the title here, man who hacked county computers gets 7 years in prison. Right? 7 years in prison for hacking a computer. Now, a man who hijacked a Washtenaw County computer system and even alerted or altered jail records has been sentenced to 7 years in federal prison. Now, that's a pretty serious thing. If you're going to be hacking into a jail system, to a computer system for a jail, and altering prison records, and you get caught, yeah, you're going to go away for a while. Now, prosecutors say that Conrad's Voights has extraordinary talents, but he used them to spend countless hours trying to hack into local government computers in 2017. Well, yeah. I mean, like, what else are you going to do? Like, hack into someone's Twitter? hack into someone's YouTube, hack into the DMV. Like what? I mean, you got to have a purpose, right? And I think this guy did have a purpose. Now, Washtenaw spent more than $230,000 to fix the mess, not including the hours dedicated to the response. County employees were also victims. The government said the 27-year-old Voits got access to personal information of more than 1,600 people. Defense attorney Benton Martin says Voits regrets his conduct, but says there's no other evidence Voits tried to sell or share any other personal information. Martin says severe mental illness contributed to the crime. If you're going to spend like a lot of time trying to hack into a computer system, especially for a jail, your mental illness, it probably does play a part. But at the same time, is it a valid defense, so to speak? At one point, Voits changed jail records to try to get an inmate released early. The scheme was thwarted by an employee who checks the records by hands. Now, see, personally to me, that's the story. And the AP just gives a little bit here. But to me, that's the story. In fact, let me bring up the full thing here, because I originally found this on Gizmodo. So it says here that a Michigan man will spend the next 7 years and 3 months behind bars as punishment for attempting to hack a county jail's computer system and altering prison records in order to get his friend released early. Now, all of a sudden, we have a better understanding of just what the hell is going on. We have a better understanding of just why this dude did what he did. In addition to the 87 months, Conrad Voits, a 27-year-old from Ypsilanti, Michigan, will also be hit with a $230,000 fine that he's ordered to pay for the cost accrued in investigating the intrusion. You have to love that. It's all like the cost. I mean, he said pay back the cost of the investigation, $230,000 to bring this guy down. Voits, who pled guilty to 1 count of damaging protected computer last December, spent the better part of the spring of 2017 crafting and executing a social engineering scheme that allowed him to gain access to the county jail computer system. The Michigan resident began his campaign by crafting a website that looked identical to the county's actual site. When the county's real website had the domain name ewashtenaw.org, Voigt's mockup had the domain ewashtenave.org, which looks indistinguishable at a glance. With the fake county website up and running, Voits began sending out emails to employees of the county jail in an attempt to lure them to the site and surrender their login credentials so he could hijack their account and access the jail's computer system. Now, we've heard of this before, right? This is what effectively brought down the DNC. It was a phishing scam. I mean, I don't know if I call this like really a hacker. I mean, he ultimately did some stuff here, but this is his first attempt was phishing. That's why I always say, like, always be wary of what you see out there. Always be wary of this stuff. Now, unfortunately for the hacker, the plan failed when no one from the jail took the bait. After abandoning the phishing attack, Voits then began calling the jail to talk to employees. He posed as a member of the county's IT staff over the phone and would pretend that he was trying to help install an update for the jail. Or the ex-jail program used to manage jail records. Voits would direct the unwitting employee to type in a URL, which directed to a site that was hosted malware. After a couple attempts, he was successful in tricking an employee into installing the malicious software, which he then used to gain access to just about everything stored on the county's computers. He had the ability to view and search warrant affidavits, internal discipline records from the jail, and personal information of county employees. He stole the usernames, passwords, email addresses, and other information from more than 1,600 government workers. This dude's got some talent that if he's been able to work it in there. I have a feeling he will be hired by some companies when he gets out, at least to test security. Because that's oftentimes what happens here. These hackers, they get busted and then they get out and then they get really lucrative jobs testing security of these companies. I mean, it's almost like do the time up front, but then later on you might find yourself with a nice 6-figure, salary somewhere. Now, a victim statement from the county employee said that the hack caused a great deal of fear and consternation. According to MLive, the employee said she and others felt personally violated by Voigt's hack and had to suffer the uncertainty of not knowing whether their identity had been stolen or their credit had been ruined, which is a valid fear. It is. It's an absolutely valid fear. Voits also completed the task he initially intended to do, modify the prison record of a friend in an attempt to get him released early. While he did manage to make the change, the jailbreak plot never panned out. The reason why is an employee cross-checked the release date with the hand-kept records and determined something was wrong. A short FBI investigation later, Voits was arrested. And that's always how it is. That is always how it is. It's always like the one little detail you can't account for, right? One pencil pusher, and I give the guy credit here because he stopped the scheme from going through. But one guy was like, I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna double check this up against an actual handwritten document that cannot be hacked. Right. I feel like in the age of technology, the further we go out, the more people are getting fearful and like everything's just going to be done on fucking Post-it notes. That's where I feel we are right now. Now, the AP reports prosecutors in the case acknowledged he had talents, but said he used them for nefarious purposes. They also encouraged the court in a sentencing memorandum to allow Voights to spend part of his jail time in a federal medical center. Voight's defense attorney says he suffers from severe mental illness. Yeah, but I mean, apparently it's not that severe if he was able to finally get in to help his friend out. Hopefully, upon release, Voights will be in a position where he can use his immense skills to make society a better place. And you have to give the guy credit. You do. You have to give this guy credit because this guy sat there and he went out and had the determination in order to get his friend released from jail. He was like, I need to get this guy out. I need to get this guy free. And I'm going to go through and spend the better part of the spring to do it. And then he got busted because someone, it's basically a Scooby-Doo ending at that point, right? I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for them pesky kids. I seriously, I mean, like, as far as bros go, like, that dude's a bro. That dude is a bro. That's a bro who's got your back, right? If he's going to spend all that time trying to find a way to change his friend's jail records for an earlier release date, that is a serious dedication. That is a serious bro right there. And I have to just give this guy a lot of credit here. But before, that guy got credit. This other dude right here, this guy, this story. Oregon man pleads not guilty to killing friend while live streaming. Now, I'm live streaming right now. Ain't no one here but me, so I think I'm good. No one's going to kill me. I ain't going to kill nobody else, provided none of you out there are calling the SWAT team. I hope not, at least. Anyway, this guy right here, he kind of looks like a killer. All right, so this happened in Roseburg, Oregon, not too far away, a couple hundred miles away from where I'm at right now, but I've been to Roseburg many times. An Oregon man has been accused of shooting his friend while live streaming, has pleaded not guilty to manslaughter. Okay, let's find out more. The News Tribune reports 23-year-old John Walker Adams also pleaded not guilty to tampering with physical evidence in Douglas County Circuit Court Tuesday. A medical examiner ruled that in November, the 23-year-old Josman Cerceres, whatever. I'm bad with the last names. Died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound while visiting Adams in Roseburg. So that's tragic any way you want to look at it. An attorney for Adams came forward in December to say his client accidentally shot Josman. Detective Nate Goodman wrote in court documents that he interviewed Adams a few days later, and Adams demonstrated how the incident happened during a night of drinking and live streaming. And as we know where things are now with YouTube and live streaming, this almost feels like it was going to be an inevitability. However, Goodman wrote that he obtained a copy of the video, and it shows Adams putting a gun to the side of Josman's head and then pulling the trigger. Now, just recently, we had this happen in, I forget where, but it was a woman was live streaming, or it was a woman and two guys live streaming in a car. One of them had a gun. They were playing with the gun. They thought it wasn't loaded. One dude cocked it. She took it, put it to his head and pulled the trigger and took half his head off. I don't know how much of this is a situation similar to that, but obviously they freaked out and they tried to claim that this guy killed himself. That this guy, he did it. It was totally an accident. I mean, in the situation like this, it's very much probably an accident. They were just messing around while live streaming and didn't think anything about it and ended up killing this guy. Yeah, Aaron, I agree. Pleaded always sounds wrong. I just like to say pled. It feels more grammatically accurate, but then again, that is what it is. But yeah, that's unfortunate in this particular case that this happened. I was once doing a short film with a guy I know, and he was wielding an axe, and he fell out of my camper that was on the back of a truck, and he hit the ground, and the axe landed blade up with his head landing right next to it. So he almost fell face first on an axe. So I've the stuff you do when you're trying to entertain people and you're not thinking about safety because you don't really give much thought to it, ultimately can really screw you up. So I understand entirely probably where the situation started and sadly where it ended up. And the guy pleading not guilty, I don't think is really going to work in the long run. But we'll have to wait and see. But this next one's really funny to me because, yeah, mystery pooper at the New Jersey high school track turned out to be the superintendent. That's right, Super Nintendo Chalmers decided he wanted to get back at the school, so he dropped trow and took a huge-ass chode right there on the track. I don't know why. Let's find out why he did it if there's an answer. I figure at this point there should be an answer. Now, the Kenilworth School superintendent, charged Monday with defecating in public, was caught in the act at the Holmdel High School football field and track after surveillance was set up due to human feces being found on a daily basis. On a daily basis. This dude hated the school so much that he just started shitting on the track daily. I mean, he's the superintendent. This fucking guy, he should be fucking... If you hate the school, dude, you're the one that can fucking fix it. Oh, Thomas Tramagalini, 42, lives about 3 miles from Holmdel High School in neighboring Aberdeen. He was running the track on the athletic fields at 5:50 a.m. before he was arrested. Track coaches and staff at Holmdel High School told the district resource officer that they found human feces on or near the football field and track daily, Holmdel police said in a statement. School employees began monitoring the area, and on Monday, police arrested Tramagalini at 5:50 a.m., according to Sergeant Theodore Sigismondi. So it became such a nuisance, such a problem, that they set up surveillance and they nabbed him. They caught the pooper. All right, they scooped the poop, essentially. But here's the thing. So this guy's running around at 5:50 in the morning. In the morning, he goes for a run on the track. Now, if you remember, there was the mystery pooper or the phantom pooper in Colorado Springs last year. It was a woman. We know that much. She was basically caught on camera, like defecating in someone's side yard, and she was doing this multiple times, but she was also dressed in jogging gear. I'm not a runner because I'm fat, but I could only wonder if this is just like a really healthy way to take a shit. You know, like you're out there and you're like, oh man, I'm getting up a good sweat. And then all of a sudden it's like Chodeville. You know, your body's like, just gotta go and clear everything out. And so you just find the nearest place you can, you drop trowel, pop a squat, and there you go. But this is a school superintendent. You know what I mean? Like, dude ought to know better. That's all I'm saying. Guy ought to fucking know better. He's also charged with lewdness and littering. He's due in municipal court on Monday to answer the charges. Now, lewdness and littering. Jesus Christ. Tramagalini has taken paid leave of absence from his $147,000 a year job in Kenilworth. Leave can only be unpaid if a person is indicted or faces tenure charged, the district said, citing state law. So if he's got tenure, he's fine. If he's not indicted, then he's fine. He's just getting a paid leave of absence because he was like, hey, man, I took a shit a couple times. But I mean, apparently it was much of a nuisance to where, like, they formed a neighborhood watch association to catch the mystery pooper. When I worked at a movie theater in Pasadena, we had a phantom masturbator. We could never catch the guy. I have to give credit to these people. They have done well. They brought him down. They toppled the local school government, the corrupt government, the government that's full of shit. Literally, they stopped it from happening. Now, Tramagalini was replaced Superintendent Scott Taylor, who resigned in August 2015. He previously served as Chief Academic Officer in Keensburg and also held position in Plumstead and Freehold Borough. None of that matters. However, if I was a detective working this case and I wanted to get to the bottom of maybe the motivations behind why the phantom pooper was dropping dookie on a track and field of a high school of which he's a superintendent of, I would definitely go and check out Keensburg and Plumstead and Freehold Borough, and I'd ask around. And if you guys here, have you ever encountered a phantom shitter? Has there been people running around and just leaving Dookie? And when did that stop, by the way? And have like a notepad. I could imagine a detective going out there and just going like, no, 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 you know, and lining up the dates and then going home and having this wall with like red yarn everywhere, like phantom poop here and here and here. It's all creating a pattern leading. It's a swirl back to home base. I don't know. To me, that's just crazy. Now, he was a part-time lecturer at Rutgers, but does not work at the university. And, of course, no one answered the door. I have to simply just ask the question there to the reporter working on this story. Did anyone there actually bother to go and check the local track and field, or possibly just the bathroom? Because apparently this guy has got himself a situation where he just likes to take a shit. And he likes to do it at a track and field. Okay, like I said before, I have a feeling a lot of it boils down to like, he's running, probably has a bran muffin or something. You know, he's got a good healthy flow, a good healthy BM. Because you know what it is? It feels like he's been doing this enough to where there's like, you know, he's on a schedule, right? Like a child. You want to get a child on a schedule. If you get your BM on a schedule and it's good and it's healthy, it's robust, it has a nice centeroma, then you're good. But still, this is a superintendent of a school that is going around and popping Duke on a track and field. Quite frankly, I'm glad he's busted, but I just want to know the motivation. I could speculate till the end of fucking time about the motivation, but I want to know why he did it. Anyway, let's take a look at this next one, because this next one is China in a nutshell. So China has banned Peppa Pig after character becomes cultural icon for poorly educated slackers. And even the hashtag is outlawed. Good old China, always finding a way to keep the man down, right? I almost feel like we should just we as Americans should just gradually introduce Cletus the slack-jawed yokel to see if it would have the same impact. But let's find out exactly why. Peppa the Pig has become a cultural icon for poorly educated slackers in China. It says here that children's favorite Peppa Pig has been banned in China for a very unusual reason. According to reports, more than 30,000 clips of the sweet cartoon, which followed the lives of Piglet Peppa and her family, have been removed from the country's equivalent of YouTube. Douyin. It's all because the animated pig's affiliation with poorly educated slackers. You know, if this was true in America, what would be like Rick and Morty? I'm going to argue Rick and Morty would be gone. It would be banned. If we were going to do the same thing here, Rick and Morty would be banned. That's Reddit tier intellectualism. So, yeah, unemployed internet philosophers. I love Rick and Morty, but come on, let's face it. Some of their fan base is shit. Even the hashtag Peppa Pig has been outlawed in the country. You know what this means, guys? You know what this means. You need to use a VPN. You got to head over to China. You got to get on Weibo, whatever it's called, and just start spamming Peppa Pig. We have to bring the meme warfare machine to China. We got to start fighting back against their state. You know what I mean? It's kind of like loose fit communism, right? It's a communist state with capitalistic ideology. Go in there and start taking back the power to the people. Meme warfare. We need to start. I would say we would need to pull off what Russia did to us in terms of election tampering, but they got rid of elections when it comes to their president now, and our president said nothing. But that being said, according to state-run news website Global Times, the clips were removed after Peppa became a cultural icon among the poorly educated. You've got 1 billion fucking people in China, all right, with finally an emerging middle class. There are going to be lots of poorly educated people because they couldn't get the education because they're in the factories making all the shit you buy at fucking Walmart. I believe that's pretty fair. Or really poorly made rock band accessories. Says the show was quite popular among Chinese children ever since it entered the market in 2015, but had gone viral thanks to young adults tuning in because young adults like cartoons, right? They do. I'm no longer considered a young adult. I'm a man, 36 years old, but God damn it if I don't love me some South Park, some Simpsons, some Family Guy, some American Dad. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm really super sick, I'll even watch My Little Pony. But I have to be the right kind of sick, like 104-degree kind of sick, like so hot that my testicles unshrivel and they just bob in the toilet bowl. That's how sick I have to be to watch My Little Pony. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anyway, the online fad made Peppa an unexpected icon In the Shiruyuan subculture, I mispronounced that, I don't care. Shiruyuan means society person, but in this context, it also refers to people who run counter to the mainstream value and are usually poorly educated with no stable job. So your average Redditor, or 4chaner, or person on Twitter, or Bloodsports viewer. Anyway, it adds there are unruly slackers roaming around and the antithesis of the young generation and the party tries to cultivate. I don't know if that's entirely true, but that seems, I mean, does this seem really like it's going to be pushing towards, you know, some kind of subculture of lazy, poorly educated people? I mean, they're using a gas stove to cook, you know, to cook corn on the cob. They're not even wrapped in tinfoil. I mean, okay, maybe this is poorly educated. They don't have proper grilling techniques, right? Charcoal, tinfoil, a little bit of butter, a little bit of pepper. You cook up some freaking corn on the cob. That particular pig right there is horrible. No, they have a tail like that. Was that a kangaroo? Anyway, they're horrible at what they do, and whoever animates the show should feel bad. But is it enough to ban it from the country? Poor grilling techniques, is that enough for poorly educated people? Probably. In 2017, Chinese parents complained that their children had become addicted to Peppa Pig. People were unhappy that their preschool children had started oinking and jumping in puddles to mimic the character's behavior of the cartoon. Maybe they're oinking and jumping in puddles because the air quality in China is so horrible that's the only way they can get themselves to breathe. Who knows? Who knows? We have no idea. But apparently, because some kids oinked, it's a cultural phenomenon. It's a cultural problem. It's for the poorly educated. Because they're children. It had previously been viewed as a good educational tool for children learning to speak English. Other content reportedly banned from Douyin includes nudity, men dressing as women, sure, the display of firearms, and cult preaching. So what exactly does cult preaching mean when it comes to China? Is it anything that basically says, hey, communism sucks? Probably. Also, probably Scientology. Just going to put that one out there. But seriously, Peppa Pig was originally viewed as a good educational tool to children, but now it's even worse than men dressing as women. China. Good old freaking China. China. They're always doing something crazy. They're always doing something stupid. But my friends, I'm not even lying when I say this. They're not as stupid as this. Dating sucks. I think we all can agree, right? We all want to come out there, find a partner. I have people guaranteed in the chat right now that are single, that want to find a nice woman or man to settle down with. But what they don't want is someone like this, where single moms are turning to sugar daddies to help with rising daycare costs. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a stay-at-home father. It's very nice. I get to spend time with my kid. I love my daughter. But honestly, a big portion of that has to do with the fact that childcare costs are freaking insanely high. But come on. Come on. Getting a sugar daddy to take care of someone else's kid. I'm just going to say it. We're all thinking it. We are all thinking it. But I'm going to be literally the one to say it. That's like the non-sexual definition of cucking right there. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right? Am I right? Right? You're taking care. Like, don't get me wrong. Whoever does it, probably doing it the goodness of their own heart. I'm not going to knock them for that. But at the same time, it's kind of scary. Anyway. It says here that more than 100,000 single moms are turning to sugar dating. That's sad. That's according to website seekingarrangement.com, which connects younger women with wealthy older men. Oh my God, it's essentially prostitution. Woman's like, I can't take care of my children. What am I going to do? Seekingarrangement.com, otherwise known as Indecent Proposal, the website. Kind of what it feels like, doesn't it? According to the website, the average sugar baby gets nearly $3,000 in gifts a month from their sugar daddies. God damn. Seriously, god damn, $3,000 a month? From ladies, this is what you got. This is where it's at. This is the new booming industry. In an exclusive interview, an Orange Park single mom tells Action News Jack it's helping her ease the financial burden of raising her son. After Kim's long-term relationship with her son's father ended, money became a challenge. Well, yeah, never mind the whole stable household to raise your child in, therefore leading them to be a more productive member of society. But I mean, who am I? I'm not getting judged. It got to the point where he was wanting to go do things or wanting things and I couldn't provide, said Kim, who asked Action News Jax not to use her last name and to protect her 8-year-old's privacy. And it made me feel kind of really low. Yeah, one of the hardest things you could do as a parent is to tell your child no. It is. It really is. Especially when it comes to financial issues. But that doesn't stop you from being a good mom. That doesn't stop you from going out and doing things with your child that are low cost or free, that are still going to have some kind of value and then add to the growing of your child. What were you doing with the $3,000? You just plying the kid with video games and Lunchables or some such shit? Now, after meeting her current sugar daddy on seekingarrangement.com 8 months ago, they now live together. Oh. Kim says her son doesn't know about the arrangement. So let's get let's just get this straight here. So this woman, Kim, ends a relationship with the son's father. Can't look after him the way that she feels he deserves to be raised because of financial burden. Decides to go on a website to find herself a sugar daddy. Gets about $3,000 a month in gifts. I'm assuming that's what she gets. Lives with this gentleman now. Has her son there. Her son has no idea that mom is a hoe. Because I don't think there's really any other way to describe it. Now, I ain't knocking it. I ain't slut shaming her. That's a solid capitalist business move. I'm all for legalizing prostitution. But seriously, like, that kid's going to find out one day. He's going to find out the true cost of that Nintendo Switch he got for his birthday. He's going to find out the true cost of that. I mean, that's going to be one of those moments where you're going to like, wow, this Nintendo Switch cost my mom a shot to the mouth. Or to the ass. I don't know. Now, she says while there's chemistry with the sugar daddy, it's not a sexual relationship. That I disagree with. I do think that's a lie. I think that's a way to protect herself. I think that's not. Come on. Don't get me wrong, companionship is a thing, but eventually a little bit of rub and tug has got to happen. At this moment, no, it could lead to something. We haven't gotten that far. There is romance, but it's not about romance. It's about filling each other's needs, showing guidance, support, emotional help, and obviously financial. Yeah, but 8 months ago, and you live with the guy in order to do this? I mean, like, if this dude is not geriatric and he needs you to get in there with an adult depends every single day, I am pretty positive that there is a little bit of action happening. It could be over the clothes, a little bit of, heavy petting, teenage style grinding, fine. But something is happening there. To get like financial freedom like that, you gotta, come on. I don't believe that one bit. Now, seekingarrangement.com spokesperson told Action Jackson News that a survey of 100,000 sugar baby mothers found they turned to the practice to help with unpaid child support, daycare costs, and rising rents. Sure, I mean, I get that that's a problem. I understand that that's an issue. Like, clearly, being a single mom and working in daycare, I get all that stuff. That's why it's good to have a strong family dynamic, which is sadly one thing that's missing when you're in that particular situation. But to turn to a website to match you with an older, wealthier gentleman for a non-sexual relationship, come on. I mean, we all know Anna Nicole Smith married that guy who was like 92. All right. And he died recently not long after they got married, but I'm pretty sure that there was a little, a little hide the salami action happening. Otherwise, it's entirely ridiculous to me. It is. It's just, to me, it comes across as like really stupid. So, yes, Aaron, I was actually thinking of you when I read this article. I was thinking of you, Aaron, to finally find yourself a wife. When you get big off being a vlogger, as we all hope you will be. But finally tonight, guys, at least for the stories that I have selected here, we've got one, and this one is funny. This one is really funny because it's just it shows you kind of where we stand in our world today. Kansas man arrested for attempting sex with car. I know a lot of gearheads in my life. A lot of my friends are really into their vehicles, really into their cars. And I'm sure if their car actually happened to be a female, they would in fact go balls deep. No questions asked. If for some reason they could turn their car into Kelly LeBrock from Weird Science, oh my God, it'd be nonstop screwing. But it's a machine, not a person. And we're not quite there yet with the sex robots having autonomy. So it says here that in the case of truth being stranger than fiction, Newton police took 24-year-old man to the emergency room May 1st after he was found attempting to have sex with a car. But apparently he had to go to the emergency room, which makes me think he was, oh man, I really hope it's not the exhaust pipe. And I really hope it wasn't after the car was on. And I just got to let it rev up a little bit to get the thing nice and warm to melt the lube. It says, we're called to the 1200 block of East Broadway to report a naked man underneath. Oh, wow, missionary with the car. Clearly he's a bottom, too. Said Lieutenant Scott Powell of the Newton Police Department. He was attempting to stick his penis into the tailpipe. I called it, into the fucking tailpipe. Why? Why would you fuck the tailpipe? That is dirtier than ass, man. I mean, in porno, when you're going to have butt play, they at least clean that shit out. They get in there and they just, you know, power wash the shit out of that rectum. But this is... No. He was high on some sort of drug, Powell said. Officers were there and he continued to try to have sex with the tailpipe of the car. He would not listen to commands or anything. They ended up tasing him. Listen, I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna say it again, from one dude to another. I hope when they tased him, it was as he was climaxing. Just if you're gonna go to jail and be known as the guy who got caught trying to have sex with the car, I hope you were allowed to finish, and I hope it happened in that moment. At least in that moment, you would have known probably the most intense orgasm you've ever experienced in your entire life, and you're never going to be able to replicate it. So just kind of enjoy that moment. It says he was so impaired we could not take him to... Oh, the man who will likely be charged with a misdemeanor of lewd and lascivious behavior was intoxicated to the point where he was nearly incoherent. He was so impaired we could not take him to jail. He was taken to the emergency room as a result of his odd behavior due to a 0.35 blood alcohol level and possible drug use. Officers also observed what appeared to be a head injury previous to interaction with the officers. They want to have him checked out by a medical professional. Yeah, that's what you want to do, right? You want to sit there and get this guy checked out by a medical professional because he has a head injury, 0.35 blood alcohol level, maybe on some type of drugs, and he's trying to have sex with the tailpipe of a car. Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. I think that's totally the right thing. I think that's okay. I think we're good. I think we're definitely good on that one. So yeah, those are the ones I had figured out. Those are the how many did I go through there? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did 6 stories. So that's pretty fucking funny to me. Yeah, wasted, pretty much. He was very much wasted at that point in time. Holy shit. Autonomous Prime. Cleaning jizz out of the tailpipe would have been a chore. I completely agree. Man, that's fucking hysterical. I think the car didn't like it and caused a head injury. Oh, the car is this the car's Me Too moment? And is that what's going on? The embarrassment from this should be punishment enough. I completely agree. Peppa and the Pipe. That's the name of their sex tape. This is a special episode of the Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. I got a band. That's great. I did hear about the feud between Alex Jones and Ben Shapiro. I didn't follow it though, so I don't quite know everything about it. But I definitely thought it was pretty funny. That the fact that they were fighting, that they were going back and forth apparently because of some shit. To me, that cracks me up, man. That cracks me up. So, did it say whose car it was? It did not say whose car it was. It did not say whose car it was. Let's see. Take a look here at another article of it. No, that's the same article. That's pretty funny. Oh, that's pretty funny. Wow. Because one article here, the one article I looked at, it said, oh, the Kansan, the website, had reported on it. And it just literally is a hyperlink back to its own article. So it created a loop. That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. Dan Little 2010, you missed all the stories. It was about a half-hour stories. It was a threesome between the car, Peppa Pig, and Pepe the Frog. Oh, man. Yeah, I heard about Shapiro tweeting out to Kanye, "Don't go on Alex Jones," which actually is pretty sage advice, because I have a theory about that now. I have a theory about that whole situation, and I think what it boils down to is Kim Kardashian, and this is true, is published today. She's currently in talks with Jared Kushner to pardon her imprisoned grandmother. Her grandmother's getting life in prison for a non-violent drug offense, and it's been more than 20 years since she began her sentence in federal prison, and she's trying to get Jared Kushner to talk to Donald Trump to issue a presidential pardon. Right? Now, she's been talking to Jared Kushner about this, and then here comes Kanye, all of a sudden, pro-MAGA everything. Right? Pro-MAGA this, pro-MAGA that. Oh, you know, we got the dragon energy. This is the end game. I was wondering what the end game was. I was wondering what he was trying to accomplish here. This is a play in order to get Trump buttered up in order to pardon Kim Kardashian's grandmother. I should do a video about. I'm going to do a standalone video about this, but that's something I discovered today. Let's see. You gave Ranting Monkey a hairy gorilla. Although the gorilla wants to keep having sex with Monkey, is it weird that both perverts? No, Ranting Monkey's a pretty big pervert. Yeah. Is there an age of consent for cars? Old Fords are okay. Yeah, but can they consent? That's the real question here. Can cars consent? Rachel, yes, I will be on Drunken Peasants tomorrow night with Jimmy Dore, which I don't quite know what to expect. I'm not a big Jimmy Dore fan, so there's that. Did I catch the Scarce interview? What with Tommy C? I caught part of it. Yeah. The whole thing with Scarce getting addicted to pills, man. That's a thing. That's a real thing. It happens to a lot of people in the entertainment. They get worked up, they get crazy over shit, and it just ends up going all nuts and stuff. So there's I feel bad, man. Like, that's the thing. I'm glad he looks better. I saw his new video. He looks a lot better. The miles of the car have to exceed 1,000 for it to be legal. Old grandmothers who haven't done anything evil shouldn't be in jail. I agree. I do agree. And non-violent drug offense, they should start getting rid of those. Did I hear that Comcast will only offer high-speed internet to people who pay for cable? I know I have Comcast, and I have to talk to them about my plan, and they want to up it to like $90 a month, and I'm like, I don't want to pay $90 a month. 70 is what I pay right now, and I don't know why it wants to go up. So I got to talk to them about figuring that shit out. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. What if the car was a turbo teen? That could be a little bit wrong. I think a little bit naughty. Yeah, Jimmy Dore is the guy who spat on Alex Jones. I know. We'll have to wait and see what happens on the Drunken Peasants tomorrow night. Apparently, some people aren't happy about that I'm going to be on there. But then again, if I pop in any live stream right now, there are people that are just not happy that I'm on there. It's pretty funny. If that car gets knocked up, will it give birth through the muffler or the tailpipe? Oh, probably. I'm going to assume the tailpipe. This is a deleted scene in Back to the Future they don't want you to see, where Doc Brown gets down and dirty with his DeLorean. So yeah, well, I talked to Comcast through Twitter. I actually do most of my conversations with them through Twitter, because they actually really pay attention. So what happens if the Ghost Rider decides to drive a Transformer? Well, they're two different, Dennis, those are two different properties. I don't know. It would be, I'm pretty sure it would be very interesting. Do I think Kanye would go on InfoWars? If it serves the interest of trying to get the attention of Trump, I think it would. But in the meantime, no, I don't think he will. Comcast is scummy. You blame Ajit Pai and the rest of the ISPs for that? Yep, I do too. Aaron asks, Matt, if you were to fuck a car, which one would it be? If I were to fuck a car, which car would I fuck? You know, these are questions, Aaron, and I'm just going to put it out there. These are questions that should be asked through Super Chat. I'm just saying. Or streamlabs.com/Monday Matt. There we go. I said it. I haven't pimped it yet, though. They see you rolling, they hating. You know, I mean, like, I don't know. Why would I fuck a car? vehicles to me aren't that sexy. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, oh, look at that, look at Shelby, or look at what was the car? What was the '68 Shelby Mustang from Fast and Furious, or not Fast and Furious? Gone in 60 Seconds. Was it Dolores? You wonder what you would fuck car. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now the conversation is getting into which cars will you fuck. This stream went a little bit weird. You wonder what Trump will serve Kanye for dinner. I don't know. Does he have a choice? Oh, God damn it, Hex Essence. We know which part of the car Kanye would fuck. A car dash. You know what I'm saying? No, I get you. It's a horrible joke and you should feel bad for saying it. Anal Vape, don't you think Kanye trying to go for the pardon is a long shot? Not at all. Not at all. Trump pardoned Scooter Libby as a way to damage James Comey as being a witness. Not even kidding you. James Comey was heavily involved with putting away Scooter Libby. So by pardoning Scooter, it basically is a way to impact James Comey. It's not. He pardoned Sheriff Joe Arpaio before Arpaio was even sentenced based upon the conviction for contempt of court. Right? Like, no. Trump will do it if it looks good. Or if if Kanye can be like the face of black conservatives for a while and do that whole thing, and that would help open up another demographic that could possibly lead into Trump's base, he would do it. He would do it because it costs him nothing. It would cost him nothing to do. Did I hear about Onision slandering PewDiePie by calling Felix a pedo? I didn't. I heard something about that, but I haven't seen the video yet. Herbie, he's the love bug. Jesus Christ, you guys are on this too much. You guys are on this too fucking much. You guys really, really, really like the idea of car fucking. It's like a dating site. Do I think Arpaio will win the Arizona Senate race? No, I do not. I don't. I know that in this last special election with Arizona that it was a Republican that won the seat, but it was only by a 5-point margin, whereas Trump had that district by 21 points. So we are seeing the shift in Arizona, but it'll take a couple more cycles. I don't think Arpaio is going to win. You think that Kanye's remark on slavery was embarrassing? Oh, no, totally. It was totally embarrassing, but I think he said it on purpose. Have I seen the Mashable article about Logan Paul? I have not. You guys are still going off about what cars you want to fuck? Jesus. Abaddon, give me a human over a car. Yeah. Would you rather a tailpipe or a functional vagina? All right, hell, even an anus. Still cleaner than a tailpipe. Fist it, you know what I mean? The night we all favored cars over MLP. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, RJ, you can go through that one. Aaron's like, I'm not sure if I'm proud or ashamed that I got you on this topic. Well, Aaron, it is a topic for your next vlog. Why? Because you live, well, you know, there's a mile of cars not far from you, in Glendale, and you could just do a stroll, right? Vlogging while you're walking up in the mile of cars. Like, question posed in my friend Matt's live stream. If you could fuck a car, what kind of car would you fuck? I mean, here we are looking at the Toyotas here, the new line, the 2019 Toyotas. Go ahead, take a look at those here. Ooh, it's a Prius. Oh, that's a sexy little bitch. I wouldn't mind getting behind her and seeing what electricity shocks my cock. And I know it's a Scion sedan, 4 doors, opens wide, like her anus. I mean, you could do that. That could be a whole subject. What if we turn that into a new challenge? All right. I'm also on caffeine a lot more than I usually take right now, so I'm like really fucking hyper. So this is also good. Do I think Han ever screwed the Falcon? No, but I'm pretty sure Han fucked in the Falcon. It's almost the anniversary of Harambe's passing. It's been 2 years? Damn. Do I think Rick and Morty Season 4 will happen? I do think Rick and Morty Season 4 will happen. I just don't think it will be with Dan Harmon. I don't think it would happen. Because Dan Harmon, the money with Dan Harmon is why. You think Razorfist is pulling for Arpaio for Senate? Yeah, I do. I really do. That sexy flux capacitor. That sexy flux capacitor. You would bang the Death Star before exploding on climax. That's a pretty big star. That's like, that's like a tick down a hallway. I'm not disgusted by the chat. I'm just laughing at it. Mechanophilia is paraphilia involving sexual attraction to machines such as bicycles, motor vehicles, helicopters, ships, and airplanes. Deal with it. Is this what you do for fun down in Venezuela, Joaquin? Is this what you do? Is this what you do, sir? This how you roll? YouTuber arrested after shoving fleshlight insert into tailpipe of Alfa Romeo. There you go, Aaron. There's how you get famous. Be that YouTuber, right? Eleanor Roosevelt said, be the change you want to see in the world. That is now your mission. To fuck an Alfa Romeo with the fleshlight in the tailpipe. If anyone asks, you're doing a colorful recreation of that scene from Beverly Hills Cop. That's what you got to do, Aaron. Get in there. Balls deep. You are the banana in that tailpipe, sir. Any criticisms you have towards Onision calling people pedos that he doesn't like? Yeah, it's a horrible fucking thing, and Onision shouldn't do it. But Onision's a piece of shit. This part is not debatable, right? Onision is a gigantic asshole who will do anything to stay relevant. You know, I mean, like, eventually him and Lainey will break up, and eventually then Lainey will become a target of his fucking obsession. So, I'm just saying, they all suck. Bigger ego, Trump or Kanye? That's a good one. I don't know. Probably Trump because he's president. But then again, Kanye is fucking a Kardashian. So some people, you know, tomato in some respects, right? Dennis Nedry, you don't want to see the change I would have for the world. Yeah, would that be dinosaurs taking over by extracting the embryos and giving it to a competing company? Right? You cheated on InGen, Dennis. You cheated on InGen. And then what happened? You fucking died. You fucking died. And the embryos died with it, sir. They're still over there on fucking Isla Nublar. They're still there 25 years later, somewhere in a can of Barbasol. They're there. Kanye didn't try to become president, so you would say Trump. Kanye also has said possible 2020 run or 2024 run. So that could be a thing. You never know. You never know. Does Onision even make content? Devious J, let me pose this question to you. Do any of us really make content? Right? I'm looking into a camera, talking to a chat, completely hyper on caffeine right now, having a grand old time, wishing I had something to smoke. I really don't have anything to smoke right now. Let's ride dinos instead of cars. Totally okay with that. Venezuelan women will take you for a ride. Does that count? Well, it depends on the kind of ride. Is it the mustache light? Is it the mustache light? Do you give them mustache light or do they steal your shit? You have to be more specific, Joaquin. More specific, sir. Somewhere embryos in a can covered in mud. Jen T Max says, I still picture Kanye as that gay fish from South Park. I completely agree. We start posting videos of cars to Pornhub. That would be really funny. Failed attempt to be John Oliver. I am nowhere near John Oliver. No. I don't have a staff of writers. I'm a dude who just makes shit up on the fly. I don't have an editing team. I don't have a graphics department, right? I'm one dude who does like 6 videos a day. That's it, man. I do some live streams. I talk to you guys. I'm no John Oliver. I'm better. Was there ever an update on the game Kanye wanted to make about his mother? I don't think so. Who is worse, Onision or Keemstar? I'm going to have to go with Onision. Keemstar is a gigantic... He's a rat. He's a snake. He's done some serious shit. People have sent me some stuff that he's admitted to doing. It's pretty bad. And but I still think Onision strikes me as like a worse person. Any plans for upcoming cons? Yeah, I'm going to VidCon, and then I might go to Comic-Con. Haven't decided yet if I'm going to go to Comic-Con yet. I'm still figuring that one out. And then I'm going to be going to PAX Seattle, and then I'll be going to MythCon the end of September, and that should be about it. So, is it possible that Kanye run and win in 2024? No. Kanye doesn't have enough fans. This whole slavery thing, it would lose in the black vote in a heartbeat. You're the dude dressed as a dude pretending to be another dude. That's a fucking car. That's fucking a car. Oh, Aaron. Is casting couch porn real? No, no porn you see is ever real. All right. No. Okay. Let me fill you in on a little tidbit here about the entertainment industry, and Aaron here can back me up. Nothing you see on television is ever 100% real, right? And especially when you're watching something like pornography that is essentially fantasy-based content, right? At no point with you being a pizza delivery driver are you going to show up and a girl's like, oh my God, like I just don't have enough to pay, but I see you've got a sausage. Oh, and then you go and you have sex with her roommate, and then her mom, and that never happens. I mean, I'm sure it has maybe one point in time, but you know, I mean, realistically, you're not going to have it happen to you. No. Chelsea, I know what Kanye meant by the slavery comment. I get it. But the way that it was like, but the way he phrased it, like you can see why people are upset, but I get what he was saying. You know, like 400 years of being a slave, like there was a choice there. Like you could have risen up and done something. I get what he was trying to say. You know, it's just, it is not taken the right way by a lot of people. So if there was someone formerly from Channel Awesome you'd like to meet, who would it be? I met James Rolfe briefly. That was cool. I'd meet Doug Walker. I might meet Lindsay Ellis. If I meet Lindsay Ellis at VidCon, I just want to like kind of throw hot dogs at her. I think that'd be about it. I don't really have anything to say to those people. So, one of your favorite videos on YouTube is Wes Anderson porn. Yeah, those parodies are always a lot of fun. So, all right, let's see. New submission to, all right. Oh, okay. This is the, oh, it's a 24-minute long video, so I can't watch it right now, but we'll have to go through it. I'll have to go through it later on and stuff. Okay. Let's see. Where the fuck am I at? Okay, I lost my place. Thoughts on Prank Invasion? I'm not a fan of any prank channel. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan at all. Have I seen the new God of War game? Yeah. Still got it. I'm almost done with Far Cry 5. And when I beat that, I'll be able to play this one. What are my VidCon plans? I'm getting down there on the 24th. On the 21st. I leave on the 20. Let me see here. I get down there on the 20th. I leave on the 24th. We have an Airbnb. A bunch of us got an Airbnb. I think there's going to be like 8 or 9 people crashing in it, which is totally fine. The place sleeps 12. So that's cutting my cost down. Last year, I dropped like $900 on a shitty ass hotel room. This year, my Airbnb is only going to cost me like way less than $900. So, oh, really? Doug Walker was at the convention the day after Medicre's vid dropped, and he got pissed off. I don't know why he got so pissed off. It was actually done with care. Am I a computer-generated sim? Joaquin, we've met in person. We've hugged each other in person. Did I seem computer-generated? No, I did not. Do I know the gamer from Mars? I know of the gamer from Mars. I don't know him personally. Your favorite prank is when a random stranger is physically assaulted? I don't know. Any chance of a Deadpool 2 discussion on stream? I might do a Deadpool 2 stream. What's going on, General Grievous? How are you, buddy? What do I think about the ending of Far Cry 5? I'm not at the ending yet. I'm almost there. So don't tell me. But I've heard both endings suck. It's a Far Cry game. Most endings suck. Actually, no. Far Cry 4. I liked the ending with Pagan Min. I liked it. I liked everything that led to that moment, and then just that moment of him leaving. And then I pulled out a rocket launcher and I blew him up. I mean, spoilers. The game came out in 2015. Like whatever. So, am I aware of Blacked? Yes, I'm aware. Are we talking Blacked.com? Because I'm aware of Blacked.com. I don't spend any time on Blacked.com. It's not necessarily a site for me. But every time I look up Kendra Sunderland, it's always Blacked.com clips. You know, trying to show support to an Oregon alum. I better be careful, or else Johnny Fox will run another stream where he takes what I said out of context. This happened last night, by the way. So there's this absolute 100% chuckle fuck of a YouTuber by the name of Johnny Fox. I mean, one of the worst. Okay, this dude embarrasses himself so often. He runs and hides so often. He retires all the time, comes back whenever there's something. And he likes to find, if there's drama, including me, he likes to find a way to like make it a big deal. So he ran 2 live streams yesterday, 2 of them. Both were dedicated to me that I could tell. The first one was like criticizing something that I'd apparently done or whatever. And then the second one was titled, Did Mundane Matt Hire a Hooker? Because I did that Facebook dating video and I talked about Craigslist and I talked about the hookers on Craigslist, which he interpreted to be that I had admitted on in a video that I had bought and paid for a hooker because I just happened to know about how it worked on Craigslist. Right. So he did this whole live stream in front of 24 fucking people. And he had like some friends on there and shit. And when it was really funny because when I happened to tune in, randomly the link was sent to me and I was getting ready to leave and I tuned in for a hot second and I heard that part and just everyone starts laughing at him. So then today he's like, oh, the stream was an abortion, so I deleted it. I'm like, yeah, because you ran a live stream literally trying to claim that I had hired a hooker, trying to expose me as for paying for sex, which I've never done, in a video where I just talked about an aspect of a website that had happened. And like, this is how dumb this motherfucker is. So fucking stupid. This is just the world we live in. General, yes, I know about Far Cry 4 secret ending. Far Cry 5 also has a secret ending. Johnny Fox is an ass, 100%. Yeah, his own guest for calling him a retard. I know, that was really funny. That was so fucking funny. You know my favorite thing about this guy too. This goes to show you, by the way, of how shitty this person is. So he's been exposed 100, and he's admitted to this too. He would go download Let's Plays, right, of other YouTubers. He would then go to Twitch and he would start streaming on Twitch and he would stream the footage of the game being played that he'd ripped off another channel. And then he would comment over what he's playing as if he's actually playing. So he would trick people into thinking that he's live streaming himself playing a video game when he just stole footage and then is just talking over it. And he was caught and he admitted to it. But it's like, that's how scummy this person is. That's how lazy and just ridiculous this person is. It just cracks me up, man. Like, I get shit all the time from people that are unethical and thieves. And it's just like, really? Come on. Come the fuck on. Favorite iDubbbz content cop? The Tanamongi one was great. Why does the main villain of Far Cry 5 have a man bun? Because man buns are obviously evil. I think that's pretty much known by now. Why am I hating on sex workers? I don't hate on sex workers, man. Johnny Fox is an SJW. Yeah, go ahead and tell him that. He freaked the fuck out. Sex workers aren't automobiles. Not yet, Neko. Not yet. You can't quantify stupid, but if you could, he'd be the picture of the upper end of the measuring instrument. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Joaquin, check this out, too. So last year, he comes across hard times, as we all have, right? Goes on to GoFundMe, starts a GoFundMe trying to raise money to pay rent, right? Because he lost his job after claiming that like the CEO of Dell was like trying to personally take him down. Again, whole other thing. And so he goes out there and he runs this, he does a GoFundMe and he takes a picture of a really rundown house, right? A super, super rundown house. And basically paints it as where he's living, right? Like a really shitty house as a way to garner further sympathy. So then somebody decides to do a reverse Google image search on that particular image and discovered that it is actually not his house. Because he lives somewhere like in Tennessee or somewhere on the East Coast, right? Maybe Georgia. I got no fucking idea. Somewhere over there. Talks like a fucking yokel. But anyway, someone did a reverse image search of that. And they found out that the property is actually based in Vancouver, British Columbia. And it's valued. And it's valued, I think, at 1.2 million or 2.4 million. It is over $1 million. This rundown shack of a place in Vancouver, British Columbia is worth 1.2 million or something like that. And this is the house he was presenting as his own in order to garner sympathy to gain money through a GoFundMe to pay his rent. And then when called out on that, he then accused me of attempting to dox him because a picture on the internet is how the Shia LaBeouf flag was captured. Never mind that the first instance of capture the flag with He Will Not Divide Us, the greatest game of capture the flag ever, was all about 4chaners becoming junior astronomers in order to track down the geographical location of this flag. A still image of Johnny's run-down outhouse of a fucking home would not have allowed anyone to track it down. But this is the mentality of this particular person. Fundamentally just dumb. I pity him more than anything else, but man, seriously, it just cracks me out. Johnny Fox sounds like the RTU critic, but worse. No. The RTU critic at least attempts to be critical. Johnny will sit there and make outlandish claims and go, I don't know nothing about that. It's just what I heard. It's just my opinion. Right? That's what he does. He hides behind that it's my opinion shit to say really ridiculous things. Hacker, the stream's going okay. You know, got 124 people watching, which is fucking cool. And we did the stories already. The first 30 minutes was that. Don't worry if you missed those. I recorded it. I'm gonna slap it up as a video in the morning. I want to make this more of an overall thing. I don't know how many of you guys caught the really late night stream where I went through the Keddy murders. I want to start doing more of the mundane Matt stories because those get asked of me quite often to do more of that particular thing. And yeah, so I figured we'll do maybe a hangout, maybe a call in. And then do a live stream hunting down, you know, looking into a cold case, and then I can do these kind of stories. And it's kind of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. So if Johnny Fox is watching right now, what message would I like for him to receive? Quit being a failure and own up to your fucking mistakes, and stop trying to jump off the piggyback of other people simply because you're trying to use their name and image in your thumbnail to get yourself ahead. Realize that you keep fucking up and you keep running away, and then you come back every time. It's rinse repeat. There's a reason why you never succeed. You keep tanking your channel, starting a new one, and then starting over again. So the mundane mysteries, yeah, that's the thing. Because we did this before, where I was going through a couple cold case files or unsolved murder mysteries, and I did one the other night. You can find it on Mundane Chats. Yeah, it was late. It was really late. I wasn't planning on doing it, but it just kind of happened. So, Oliver, no, Johnny is not a nice guy. He's just, I don't know, illiterate maybe. People that you deal with online. Oh, right. I updated that. Okay. Oh, where are we at? Ted Cruz is a crazy guy. Ted Cruz is, I don't know if Ted Cruz is going to run for president again. Seeing the Keddy murder kept you awake until 6 in the morning. Oh wow, I'm glad you liked it. If I could bring any tool from video games, barring those that would kill someone only for a certain person being able to use it, what would I bring into reality? What was a gun from Half-Life 2, the gravity gun? I like that one quite a bit. Is Johnny Fox worse than Anision? No, he's not worse than Anision. Anision's smart at how he plays it. Johnny's just dumb, man. Like, I mean, you know, if you want to be critical of someone, you can be critical of people without looking like a fucking idiot. And he looks like an idiot all the goddamn time. So it's just, you know. we live in a weird fucking world, I swear to God. Swear to God. All right. Okay, cool. Oh, right. So, let's see. Oh, you like the late stream? It was just you were just at Avengers, and oh yeah, no, yeah. It's, I mean, later. I like to do this early. I was up really late that night. I've been up since like 6 a.m. this morning, so I'm exhausted, which is why I drank the caffeine. If Cruz attempts another run, do you think Twitter porn incident will be brought up? It will try, but it won't really matter. It won't really matter at all. No one's gonna care, right? It's like, oh, Ted Cruz masturbates. He's now all of a sudden relatable. Oh, you got a crappy Thanos joke? What's Thanos' favorite game? Half-Life? That's pretty crappy, dude. That's pretty crappy. I'm not gonna lie. Hacker says here, I just heard Total Biscuit's going to die of cancer, and you're sad even though you don't watch his content. Yeah, man, it's been a thing for a couple years now. It's you know, he was gonna fight it as long as he could. We got a couple good years out of him and everything. But this day was kind of inevitable, I think, and it doesn't take away from the tragedy of it. It doesn't take away from the sadness of it. It doesn't take away from the fact that a pioneer in my field is succumbing to an illness that cannot be beat, and it's sad. It's sad. You know, it's I wish him nothing but the best, and a miracle cure. You know, I mean, like, it'd be great, but yeah, it comes for us all. You know what I mean? And that's like that's the crazy shit. So any good Kickstarters you backed lately? No, I don't really back a lot of Kickstarters. The last one I backed was Friday the 13th, which I like that one, actually. I should play that with you guys. Let's see here. Okay, so the bullshit of Stormy Daniels continues to become more bullshit, and you don't give a fuck about her supporting Trump. What bullshit? Trump fucked her. His lawyer paid her off $130,000. Trump at first denied this multiple times, once to the press, which 2 days later resulted in Michael Cohen's offices and hotel room being raided by the FBI, that were, you know, led by the Justice Department that is under a Trump administration, that were appointed by Trump appointees, that's run by Trump appointees. And then Trump has to come out through Rudy Giuliani and say, yeah, I mean, he's been paying, he knew about it, he was paying her, he was just paying him back. What's there to support? I don't understand that. I understand you want to support the guy. I get it. But let's not take away from the fact that he fucked the woman while he was married and his wife had just given birth to a son. If that's not a scummy, stupid fucking thing, I don't know what is. And then he fucking lied about it. And he lied repeatedly about it. Called her a con artist. Called her all of these things. Lied about her. Defamed her publicly. And then, I mean, he paid back. Right. Like, it's no big deal. Come on, man. Listen, I understand you support MAGA 2020. I get that shit. But, dude, you have to acknowledge that he's a bit of a scumfuck in this particular situation. So, yeah, Trump fucked the porn star. Press 1 if you care. Press 2 if you don't give a fuck. No, exactly. I'm just saying, lying isn't... okay. It's not that lying is against the law. Fine, let's look at it like that. But don't you think that that a person who kind of ran with the family values crowd and all that shit should be held to maybe a bit more of a higher ethical standard? Maybe the fact that the person who's president should not lie about boffing a porn star 14 or 12 years ago, right? I mean, clearly he did it. Clearly he paid her. That's the whole issue here. Is like there's morals. Can't really run on a morals, you know, situation. I love the amount of support that his fans gave. I love it. I love that look the other way sort of thing. So I mean, like, you know, who fucking cares? He fucked a porn star. Yeah, sure. Never mind. He's married. Wife just had a kid. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Catherine McDougal also at the same time. That was happening in 2006 as well. So it was 2 women, and who knows how many since then. I mean, yeah, sure. No, married guy, fuck around. Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. I mean, cheaters, man. Cheaters are fine. Come on. At least acknowledge that it's a shitty fucking thing to do. How about that? At least acknowledge that it's a shitty thing. And then he's had to lie about it repeatedly instead of opening up about it, saying, yeah, I screwed up. Because the crime is in the cover-up, not necessarily the act itself. Predictions for the Han Solo final rating. I'm going to say it's going to do pretty well. He took support from the family values crowd. He took support from them. You know, he's gone out there and you know, oh, God bless our country. He talks all about God and stuff. You know, he doesn't have any religious bone in his body. If you could get a porn star to fuck you, your wife would high five you. Probably, but your wife would know about it. Right? Do you not see that there's a difference there? Here's the thing. Would you cheat on your wife? Would you cheat on your wife? Or how about this? If your wife cheated on you, if your wife took a big fat black dick, just loved it, took it all in, balls deep, would you be okay with that then? Would you be okay with that? Would you still be with your wife if she cheated on you? That's an honest question. How come Trump's evangelical base ignores how scummy he is? Because tax cuts and money. That's about it. So, no, I'm not saying that you didn't know who Trump was, but I'm saying acknowledge that it's a shit move. No one here is really acknowledging that it was a shit play. Everyone's saying, oh, well, we already knew he was a scumbag. Well, okay, fine. But at least knowledge, you know, it's got to be a pretty big scumbag thing. I mean, if Trump, what does it say? Trump is a guy who will fuck you over, lie about it, and have people defend him to try to get justice, pretty much. Whose cheating is worse than Kevin Hart's cheating while his wife was pregnant, or Trump's cheating on his wife just after she gave birth? Both are bad. No. Don't impeach him because of it. That's no. Well, actually, here's the thing. It could actually be illegal because in New York, in the state of New York, adultery is actually illegal in the state of New York, which is where he married Melania. So there is that. No, you can't impeach him over it because it's not. That's the whole thing. He has to come out now and admit that he lied because that's the way you're going to get the campaign finance people off of Michael Cohen. Like, that's how you get people off it, because he threw Michael Cohen under a bus. Then Michael Cohen basically went out there and like got fucked over by the FBI, got raided by the FBI. So they have access now to all of the documents, all of their documents. And then when that happens, they end up getting access to the rest of the information too. And so Trump doesn't want that going out. He doesn't want that information being looked at. So he's going to come out now and have to eat crow and through Rudy Giuliani essentially admit this sort of thing in order to kind of make that go away. It's a good play. I will acknowledge it's a good play, but it's still a play. Your wife won't fuck someone with a lower IQ than her, and she's Jewish, so do that. Oh, come on. You're not answering the question. You're not answering the question. If your wife cheated on you, would you be okay with it? That's the question. Do I think Trump will file Mueller? I think he will get close to. I think he will get. I think he will try at some point. So no. I'm saying cheating a spouse is shitty. I'm saying, but it is illegal technically in New York. Yeah, I can go after Clinton for lying, so why not go after Trump? Yeah, sure. Okay, so Anthony, so since you kind of started this whole train of thought here, and you say that you're still supporting him because he pissed off the Democrats. So what that tells me is that you're a single issue supporter, which there's nothing inherently wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. I got nothing. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think you should have more. I think you support someone for more than just one issue, but whatever. Ambersands, the DC subscription channel. I'm going to get it. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. You're hold on. Aaron's like, I got to run. I'm actually going to go. You're going to go live, go to live yourself, go to live yourself. What are you going to go live? Are you going to stream? What are you doing? You lost me on that one. I know you're trying to make a joke, but DM me on Facebook. Do we know for sure that it was cheating? Have you seen? Yeah. Have you seen Melania lately? Have you seen the whole like not want to hold his hand, and she hasn't really been traveling with him, and she's pulled back quite a bit? Yeah, she's totally on board with what happened. So, well, the thing is, Andre, I don't think the Russia story is completely out of. I don't think it's entirely unjustified. But the Stormy Daniels thing, yes, I'm over that too. Why are the Democrats losing millennial support? It depends on. I need to go back and read that article and look at the sample size. A lot of the younger millennials that are going to be of age to vote this year are very left leaning, so you're going to have that. But it depends on certain aspects of it. The Democrats don't have a proper platform, and I think that's why. a lot of millennials actually really like that. They really like what's his name, Bernie Sanders. Who did I support, Clinton or Bernie? I supported Bernie. Still do. I'm open about that too. I do. I support Bernie because I like the idea of reinvesting in human capital. I think we need to, as a way to help the country. I think we need to focus on infrastructure. We need to. I don't like this increasing our military. I think we need to start scaling it back. You can't sit there and say America first and then like want to expand the military to go out in other countries. I think we need to get out of Afghanistan. It's been how many years now? It's been fucking 16 years, shit, whatever, 14, 15 years in Afghanistan. Haven't had it's a never ending conflict because of fucking Palestine, right there, or Pakistan, right? Not Palestine, Pakistan, that keeps sending in troops to fight us, right? While still acting as one of our allies. There's a lot of problems with that shit, and we need to get rid of it. So, did I Pokemon go to the polls? Legalize weed and prostitution, and you had the vote 100%. I agree. So am I a socialist? No, not at all. I'm very capitalistic. I believe in legalizing weed and prostitution simply for the tax, as well as the fact that it's kind of a fundamental. I think if you can't sit there and say I'm for freedom, but then go like, yeah, but recreational drug use is really bad, and also fucking for money is really bad too. Screw that shit. I'm totally for those both becoming legalized. So I would say legalize shrooms. Anything that's natural, anything that's a chemical compound like meth and even cocaine because of what it's cut with, I would argue that which should definitely remain illegal. But stuff that's more natural from the ground, peyote, shrooms, pot, that kind of stuff would be legal. It should be recreational. It should be taxed. So, what kind of car would Stormy Daniels be? Oh man, fucking at this point a used Pinto. So. We came to Afghanistan when it was a failed state. We should leave it as a failed state. I kind of agree. It doesn't matter what you think, Joaquin, because you can't vote in the U.S. No, it's true. It's kind of like, I have opinions on Venezuela, very similar to yours, but I don't live there. Not much I can really do. Thoughts on Clinton saying she lost votes because she's pro-capitalist? Clinton was such a horrible candidate. I think everyone can agree that Clinton was a horrible candidate, right? Like I didn't support her at all. It's one of the reasons why I got actually a decent conservative base of viewers. But yeah, no, I don't like Clinton. Honestly, I kind of liked Jeb. I mean, sure, he was milquetoast and banal, but at the same time, I felt he had some decent opinions. It's like McCain in 2000. I liked McCain when he was on the Straight Talk Express. I liked 2000 McCain. 2008 McCain I hated because you could tell that this guy was doing nothing but trying to play the game in order to get elected, right? Whatever scruples and balls he had in 2000 when running against, or well, really 1999 running against George W. Bush, was lost. And then when he got the nomination in 2008, it was just, they knew they were going to lose. They had to pick somebody, so they picked McCain. I'm Canadian. No, first generation Canadian American is what I am. So, my mom was born in Canada. I was born here. So, plus the help with the DNC, Hillary rigged the primary against Bernie. Yep. Completely agree. You can't agree that Clinton was a horrible candidate. Did I like John Kasich or Marco Rubio in 2016? I actually kind of liked Kasich. And I've always liked Marco Rubio. I have. In 2012 when I saw him speak after the election and whatnot, and I saw I'm like, they're going to run him for president one day. But Marco Rubio from 2012 versus Marco Rubio in 2016 are kind of like two different people. I've never hated Rubio. I don't think he'd be a good president, but I don't view him as a bad person. You know what I mean? Like Ted Cruz is an asshole. I don't like Ted Cruz, but I like John Kasich, actually. I did like John Kasich. I still like the fact that he's hanging around. I do. So we'll see what he does next. No, David, I said McCain from 2000, totally different candidate. Jeb I liked because he was more I felt he was more middle of the road, right? I don't want a far-leaning left candidate or a far-leaning right candidate, even though I support Bernie and he's very left in some respects, but I feel like that's more of the idea there is more about socially than fiscally. Plus he wants to cut spending. So, and I'm more okay with that. Cause we need to get ourselves out of this fucking hole we find ourselves in. You voted, I think a lot voted for Trump because it was Clinton. Yeah, no, Deborah, I don't think you're wrong. That's the whole thing. There's a lot of Trump supporters, not just supporters, but voters that have expressed buyer's remorse as a result of everything. So, Jesters, I did hear about that. Yeah, I did hear about that. So, okay, guys, I got about 5 minutes left until I'm going to log out. So if you guys got any final questions, hit them up. Any final super chats, or I should say any at this point, which is fine. This was fun. And then if you missed the first part of the stream that had the stories, that's going to be up in the AM. Oh, wow, this is cool. Someone sent me a thing. Apparently, there's going to be a comic book that's going to tell George Lucas's original vision for the sequel trilogy. I got to read the article, but that's cool. I hope that's true. So, McCain has been getting hatred from the alt-right. Cernovich and Molyneux have been bad-mouthing him. They bad-mouth everybody. But the thing is, Cernovich and Molyneux, they don't consider themselves the alt-right. Like, as soon as Richard Spencer came on the scene, Cernovich is all like, whoa, 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 whoa.